Today, my topic of discussion in Atomic Kotlin is I will be doing a brief introduction of objects, and I will be solving some of the exercises, as you know. And then, let's talk about objects. So objects are everywhere, okay, in programming language. So that's the idea. So object stores data using the properties val and var. So as you know that val is immutable, whereas var is mutable property, and perform operation with this data using functions, right? So some of the definitions are classes, members, member functions, creating an object, so that's it. And one of the example is that the example of object is of object int range. So int range is pretty much, as you can see the example here, this object is gonna create a range of numbers from 0 to 10. As you can see here, the output will be something like this. So if you want, we can run the output, run the program, sorry, and then we get the output. You see, it's like creating int range is creating a object of ranges from 0 to 10, right? And these objects, you can have different properties. Like if you see here, you can get the first one, the last one, you can step, you can start, you can end inclusive. So this is what it mean to say, like you have object, and like you can perform operation with this data using functions to that object, right? So this is the important concept of object, and you can read more interesting stuffs about objects here. Like as you can see here, like the properties, you can access the property of the objects using a function, right? And you can perform various actions, various operations, sorry guys. So okay, so now let's go exactly, let's pretty much uh, exactly get some other examples like this one. You are performing different actions. Like one of the action is sum, okay, and the string is also an object, and like you can get reversed, you can lowercase, you are performing different operation to that object, right? Conversion, right? You see a number conversion. This is another example. And now, without losing any time, let's go directly solving some exercises, and I will give you a hand-on experience of how to solve some exercises of about objects. So this exercise says that um, what it says is like palindromes are the word or phrases that read the same forward and backward. So this is palindrome, right? Like mom, as you can see, if you can read forward and backward in the same way, so it's a palindrome. And dad is all palindrome, rotator is a palindrome, streets is not a palindrome because you cannot read it forward and backwards. It doesn't it's not the same, right? So now the idea is, like it says that write a function that checks whether a word or phrase is palindrome. So this is function will check that any input string is a palindrome and return true or false. So how can we do that? Okay, just try to think a bit like about the solution. What can be the solution? It's a pretty easy solution, guys. It's like you just need to say if the number is equals to the as you can see here example are the words and or phrases that read the same forward and backward. So if you equals like string dot reversed, so if this is true, then the number is a palindrome. So this must output as a true, and this must output as a false because this is not a palindrome. So let's check it out, guys, and see if it's really, yeah, it's a palindrome. But okay, for further information we can check out like if this is palindrome, but I want to output another string that is dad, and check if this is a palindrome. But that's true, it's a palindrome. So let's see if it returns true. Yeah, it's a palindrome. So this function is pretty simple and nice, and it works. So this is the we solved our exercise. So let's go to the next exercise. And what it says is you need to build up the previous exercise, ignore upper and lower case when testing the palindrome. So for example, Bob should now be considered as a palindrome because it's ignoring, like for example, you see that mom is a palindrome. It should ignore the lowercase or uppercase. So how can we do that? It's pretty, let's think about let me think about the answer. So what I can do is I can pass the string to lowercase, uh, lowercase. So if I convert this to lowercase, because as I know, as you guys know, that as string is also object, so I'm performing an operation to the string. Like string has various operation function, right? Like I can convert it to string and do something. So I'm just converting it to lowercase, and this trick is pretty much helping me to solve this. I'm passing all the values, whatever coming is passed here to a lowercase, and then checking the palindrome. So pretty much I think it's gonna work. Let's see, it must return true. Yeah, it's true. If you want, guys, I'm also gonna check the Bob. This must also be true. Yeah, that's true. So it's working. So now let's check the another one exercise. What it says is building on the previous exercise, strip out the special characters before testing. So madam I, is here it has some special character, apostrophe m, Adam should now be considered as a palindrome. So that means like it's removing this apostrophe. So how can we do that, remove that special character? Okay, so this I have to write kind of a, this is the function that strips out the special character. So how can we do that? It's pretty much similar. So what I do is pretty much I loop the string, okay, and I strip out the special character. So how can I strip out the special character before testing it? So okay, so I will check out if C is in the range of A to Z, or C in the range of A to Z, the uppercase. What I do is pretty much I build up the no, it's not the result, man, guys. Yeah, it's the result. I concatenate the string with that string, and what I do is pretty much so this is actually returning a value, right? So I will pretty much return a value is palindrome ignore case and pass out the result. Okay, actually I have to return this. So let's check if this is gonna work. So this has to return true. Yeah, it's true. So that's, yeah, this is the answer, guys, pretty much. Okay, and so now let's check the final exercise. Is not, no, it's like the second last exercise. That's exercise number 4. So what we have to do is reverse the digits in an integer number using string conversion. So how can we reverse this? That whatever input is being reversed, and then but the return type of this function is also int. So how can we do that? It's pretty simple, guys. You just need to take the input as a number, convert it to string, then reverse it because string has some function operators, right? That reversed, no, reverse, and then convert it back to int. So it's gonna pretty much, what it's gonna do is take this number, convert it to string, reverse the string, and then convert it back to the integer, which will be the output. So let's check it out. So 1 2 3 4 will should print out 4 3 2 1. Yeah, that's it, guys. So actually 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 should print out 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. That's it, guys. So it's working. So now let's go to the final exercise. It's always about the mastering the IDE. So in Kotlin, it's easy to explore classes using the IntelliJ IDE, which has a code completion. IDE attempts to complete what you are typing and show your list of options. After you type the dot, IDE suggests members which can be called on a given element. So as I already did it before, so you can also call completion explicitly by pressing is a control space. So and use arrow down and up to select the required members and press enter to paste it. So space like control space discovers all possible operations that you can do for a class. That class means like object, right? So you can type the first letters of a member function property to see all the available members starting with these letters or simply containing these letters. So type the identifier name R. So let's do that. Let's get some, let's master the IDE. So what is this? Is int range is object, right? And so now I'm accessing this object's properties. So R dot, so you just need to put the dot to access the function, like the properties of to perform the operations, right? So I just press the dot, then you just need to put control space to get all the possible like operations for that class or object, right? So control space to get all the possible, and then you can navigate it like with the arrow bottom or like down arrow or up arrow to navigate whichever you want. So I just want the first one and just click enter to paste it, right? So yeah, pretty much you can print out. And let's see. Yeah, it's the zero. The first one of the int range is zero, obviously. So that's it, guys, and it's also done. And yeah, that's it for the object introduction, guys. So I will be in the next tutorial, I will be creating classes and many more. So if you are really satisfied with the tutorials I'm making it, and if you are really liking it, just please consider subscribing and helping me. And thank you very much, and catch you up in the next tutorials.